Wake up. How many of you like this song just because of the lyrics of it, right? Just keep playing, you know, the loop over and over again. You know, how many of you want to be rich? All right. And I'm not just talking about financially, but I'm talking about in every area of your life. You know, most people want money, but they really don't understand the principles that come along with getting it and also keeping it. You know, one of the principles I teach is not just about getting rich, but what? Staying rich. You know, you guys been on my conference calls, came in my seminars. I don't teach you just how to go out here and get the money, but how to be able to keep the money. Because it really doesn't matter if you get it and can't keep it, does it? You know, so give yourselves a round of applause just for being here this evening. First ever meeting in the DMV for Nove. And we plan on having this on a weekly basis. Now, I won't be on a weekly basis, right? But at least you guys will have something consistent that you can plug into. Very thankful and humbled that we have some leaders in the area who have volunteered not only their time, but also being a part of this vision to help transform lives across the country. One of the things I want you guys to understand, by this being the first meeting and you being here, that it's great to be first. How many of you agree with that? Yeah. It's great to be first. You know, years ago when the settlers from Europe came to this country, which they didn't find because people already were here. Right. But as they started to span across the country, they call those individuals pioneers. Right? It's power in being a pioneer, but there's also pain. And it's important for each and every one of you to understand that being first is great, but being first also comes with responsibility. See, because you guys are here, but it's not just about being in the right place at the right time. It's also about knowing that you're in the right place at the right time. Doing the right things to be able to get the right results. Does that make sense? Yes. It's very important not to take that lightly, because some people feel like just because they're here at the right place at the right time, they're going to make it. But it's important to understand that you have to change as an individual if you want to change your results. See, I could give you $1 million today. But you being the person you are, if you can't make a life out of $15,000 a year, you're not going to be able to make a life out of $1 million a year. The statistics show that 87% of people that hit the lottery, millions of dollars, 87% of those people in 3 to 5 years are broker than they were before they got the lottery money. Because it's not the money, it's the mindset. See, our job with Nove is as we go out here and we plan on changing the world, not just the DMV, not just the United States, but I feel like we're going to put a mark on the world is to change the mindset of individuals. Because you're not broke in your bank account. If you're having issues in your life, it's not other people. Most of the time, it's ourselves. So if we can change ourselves and everything about our life will change. Does that make sense? Yes. You know, real quick, I'm not going to tell my whole story, but I was the first in my family for a lot of things. I feel like I was a pioneer, and I sought out to become a pioneer because growing up, I don't come from a family with a lot of money. We had a lot of love, but we didn't have a lot of money. And as I grew up, I understood when I started, having friends that had parents who I considered rich, because I grew up in the projects, a couple of different projects. And if you didn't know what the projects, you never been to the projects, don't know what they are, it's like government housing. Like, you know, they give you assistance because you don't make enough money, right, to pay your bills. So I grew up in the projects, and I would go with friends home that had 2-story homes. Normal looking 2-story houses, and I thought they were mansions. And I said, when I grow up, I don't know what I got to do, but my kids are going to be able to live in a house like this. My friends that I played baseball with got to go on vacations, like Disney World and stuff like that. When I grew up, a vacation was my mom getting time off work and we cleaned up the house. And I said, when I grow up, my kids are going to be able to live better than this. I started my own business within this network marketing industry at the age of 20. Didn't have any experience in entrepreneurship. In fact, I didn't know what an entrepreneur was. But I went to a meeting just like this, and the guy in front of the room told me at the end that, hey, if you get in and you're willing to work hard and change as an individual, and you listen to what we teach you, over the course of time, I'm going to help you get rich because I get richer. Now, I understood his intent, but at the end of the day, no one else ever told me they were going to help me become rich. And I understood that day moving forward, if I poured everything I had into changing as a person, then I could be able to change my life. Does that make sense? Yes. One of the things you got to jot down is you can't become the person you wish to become being who you are. You can't become the person you wish to become being who you are. So you have to make a decision that if I receive some new information, I'm going to be able to embrace it and I'm going to get the job done. Since the age of 20, 21, I was able to quit my job. 22, I was making a six-figure income. By the time I was 25, I was blessed, earned over $1 million in the industry. A few years later, a few $1 million later, I retired from the industry. Took a few years off because my mom unfortunately got sick. She got diagnosed with cancer. And I took an entire year off. I sold my business at that time. And unfortunately, she passed away. But I got to spend an entire year not working, not worrying about money, not worrying about how I'm going to pay my bills and her bills or her doctor's visits, but an entire year with my mother. For me, that was the biggest accomplishment I've had in my life. Not to have to worry about money and be there with my mom. Her dying wish was for me to go back and finish college, right? Because I retired from college in my early 20s because I was making more money than my professors. So I'm thinking, hey, I don't need a job, so why am I going to keep going to get this degree? So I dropped out of college during that time, but my mom said, Rico, I want you to go back and finish school. That was her dying wish, for me to finish college. Not so I can get a job, but so I can be the first in my family to do it.